We've heard a lot about race in the last 2 weeks, a lot of this is the way it should be and no, it should be this way. We wanted to explore the issue beyond the back and forth, so we invited a number of folks linked to this issue to talk and to listen. The piece you're about to see is a portion of that conversation. This particular portion is with the Greater Rochester Chamber of Commerce's Adrienne Hale and Temple Brith Kodish's Rabbi Peter Stein. After we have an event tied to race that really divides the community, what's the first step that you suggest to healing, whether it's at an individual level or at the leadership or community level? Adrienne, I'll start with you.
So I think at the individual level, it's about having courageous conversations. And for people in our community who belong to those at-risk subpopulations, letting them know that if you are a part of the more majority community, you understand those concerns, the context, the history, and just educating yourself on how to never be a part of the continuation of beliefs, practices, or ways of thinking that can produce these kinds of events.
Rabbi?
Yeah, I like that very much, and I think when we're confronting hatred, when we're confronting violence, the key really is to speak up and to show up, is to build a connection that makes a difference. Silence is really the concern. Silence is really what's going to cause these kinds of terrible things to continue.
Do you think healing is still possible, though, if they don't get to the same conclusion about a certain event?
Absolutely. I mean, one person is going to sow the seed, another person will come along and water it, and then over time in that individual, it will grow. However, I do think it's critical that as a community, we recognize that we have to heal and galvanize and coalesce around our value. And so what it's about for other communities, I think, is about showing that we share values and we share principles just from one human being to another, and just letting other folks know that, you know?
And Rabbi, do you think there's a fear, though, that when you say, let's move on, let's heal, some people might say, that's all fine and good, but then we're not going to talk about this one particular event then, because that's going to be a thorn in my side if we try to move on and we don't fully address that?
So I think healing is a much bigger goal than any particular incident. And healing is really challenging a reality that is unacceptable, to examine and explore, you know, what is my privilege, what is my reality that is not the only reality, and then to enter into those conversations that really expose us to new and different ways of living in this world. And then it doesn't matter if we all agree, but it means that we understand that there's more than one way to look at the world than our own single point of view, that I think too often is reinforced by the people that we surround ourselves with.
As I mentioned, we interviewed a group of people as part of this project, 6 to be exact. Each interview will air on Monday, MLK Day. An extended version of the one you just saw will air at 5:30, while the other 2 will be part of an hour-long special that starts at 7 p.m.